Welcome back, my dear friends. Today we are going to talk about a very important thing called as anastomosis around the scapula. Anastomosis around the scapula. As you all know that why anastomosis is going to happen, why there must be a communication between the vessels. So these are all the things we are going to discuss today. And before going to see that, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you, dear friends, for your support. And as I told you earlier, so the discussion today is anastomosis around the scapula. Anastomosis around scapula. So what are the vessels which are going to anastomose here around the scapula? So I am going to draw the diagram here. So there's the medial border of scapula, and there's the superior angle of the scapula, and then this superior angle which is extending laterally, and here you can see a notch, and then here you can see that glenoid cavity. Okay, and here is the inferior angle of scapula, and this is the lateral border of scapula. Okay, so that is a inferior glenoid tubercle, and this is the glenoid cavity. So this is the scapula, and here you can identify how to identify the scapula. This is the spine of the scapula, which is extending like this in the spine, and it's extending as the acromion process. This is the acromion process. So this is about the scapula, how it is present in our body. Now let us discuss about the arteries which are going to anastomose around the scapula. So first and foremost, I am going to show here. So the artery which is already we have seen in our previous class, the axillary artery. So from the third part of axillary artery, we can identify the subscapular artery. So the subscapular artery, it is giving a branch. It is giving a branch called as circumflex scapular artery. Circumflex scapular artery, which is coming from the posterior and then extends into. It is running posterior, circumflex scapular artery, which is running posteriorly and then crosses the lateral border of the scapula and extends upwards and reaches to the closed surface of the scapula. Closed surface of the scapula. As you all know that the spine of the scapula, above the spine, the depression is called as supraspinous fossa, which gives attachment to supraspinatus. Below the spine of the scapula, it is giving origin to this infraspinatus muscle. So at the deep surface, under the muscle, we can identify this circumflex scapular artery, which is extending and reaching to the closed surface of the dorsal surface of the scapula. And here, this is how the circumflex scapular artery is running. Whereas here, what is going to happen is at the superior border of this is the superior border of the scapula. At the superior border of the scapula, there will be a ligament. Okay, so there is a ligament. That ligament is called as transverse scapular ligament. Transverse scapular ligament. So over the transverse scapular ligament, we can identify there is an artery which is extending and then enters into the supraspinous fossa. Enters into the supraspinous fossa. So the artery is running over the ligament. Below the ligament, the nerve is running, suprascapular artery. So I just want to name it so that there should be no confusion here. So this is circumflex scapular artery. Circumflex scapular artery. And here at the superior border of scapula, we can identify suprascapular artery. So from where this suprascapular artery is coming? So the suprascapular artery is coming from the subclavian artery. Suprascapular artery is coming from the subclavian artery. As you all know that in our previous class also we have seen that subclavian artery, after crossing the lateral border of the first rib, it is extending into the apex of axilla as axillary artery. So before it is extending as the axillary artery, that subclavian artery which is giving a branch called as suprascapular artery. That suprascapular artery which is extending posteriorly and runs over this transverse scapular ligament and then enters into the supraspinous fossa. So this is how it enters into the supraspinous fossa. After supplying to this, and it enters into the infraspinous fossa. How it is entering into the infraspinous fossa is, there is a notch here. There is a notch. That notch is called as spinoglenoid notch. Spinoglenoid notch. So after it is supplied to the supraspinatus, then it enters into the spinoglenoid notch, and then it enters into the infraspinous fossa. So this is how these two arteries are anastomosing. So this is how the suprascapular artery and the circumflex scapular artery, they are anastomosing laterally. Then what is going to happen here? There is another artery which is running, it is running anterior to this, the muscles which are present at the medial border. So medial border muscle attachments are, as you all know that, so the medial border muscle attachments are rhomboides major, rhomboides minor, and also the levator scapulae. So above the root of the spine, where it is giving attachment or insertion to the levator scapulae, anterior to this levator scapulae, we can identify this artery. So this artery is called as transverse cervical artery. This is transverse cervical artery. Transverse cervical artery. So this transverse cervical artery, which is running at the medial border of the scapula, and then it is running at the medial border, then it enters into the deep surface of the infraspinous fossa, and the branches of it is entering into the infraspinous fossa, and these branches which are going to anastomose with this suprascapular artery, and then it is also going to anastomose with the circumflex scapular artery. Circumflex scapular artery. So this is how the anastomosis is going to form between the three vessels, three arteries. One is circumflex scapular artery, suprascapular artery, and the transverse cervical artery. So the transverse cervical, as I told you, it is also a branch of the subclavian artery, and then suprascapular, it is a branch of subclavian artery, and circumflex scapular artery, this is the branch of third part of the axillary artery. So this is how the vessels are going to anastomose with each other in order to give the oxygen blood to these muscles, all these muscles. So if any one of the artery got blocked, these vessels are helping to take the oxygen blood to all the muscles. So to form the collateral circulation, anastomosis is going to form. This is one important topic to study, the anastomosis around the scapula. Thank you, dear friends. With the new class, again I will come to your presence. Thank you.